What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Friday, the best day of the week, episode 429 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Javon, presented by SeatGeek. If you guys are going to any tournaments this weekend, if you guys are getting your opening day tickets, why not cop them on SeatGeek? Use promo codes Book It for a little discount on your first purchase. If you haven't used SeatGeek yet, probably like a lot of you guys, right? You probably don't even know what the fuck that is. It's a new reseller. All right, go check that puppy out. I promise you'll keep using that in your repertoire when you're buying tickets. All right, promo code Book It, $20 off. I know you guys are going to games this weekend. All right, lock the fuck in and get them on SeatGeek. All right, chat. How about that goddamn squad ride last night, Javon? Let's go. The Baylor Bears. Come on.
Much heart. So much
Come
heart.
on. They look great, for the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, they won by double digits and they didn't score, or they didn't have a field goal until 8 minutes into the game. Just shows you how good they are and they get settled in.
Much like your TCU Horned Frogs, who didn't score for 10 minutes.
Okay.
People forget.
Unnecessary to bring that one back up. Crazy.
People forget. I don't feel bad. You'll be in the tourney. I'll be in the NIT. All right.
Yeah.
I might not even go to Vegas for the first two rounds. I might just go to the NIT. I think it's up in Indianapolis this year. Anybody in chat want to go? For some reason, I'm not feeling the actual tourney this year. I'm feeling more NIT. What do you guys think? This could be the year of the NIT. Maybe people care about that one more. Who knows?
They changed the rules now for the NIT.
What are those?
Like, you know how it used to be all the like the mid-major conference regular season winners get like an auto bid if they don't win their tournament? It's not like that.
Sure.
You got big names in it now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, shout out TCU for the start. Can't say I didn't see that coming.
Crazy, dudes.
Can't say I didn't see it coming, but holy shit.
Start. I mean, look, man, I know Houston's defense is like that, but 0 for 14 from the field in the first, 9 minutes? Come on.
Yeah, it's almost like they can't shoot.
My goodness. They still do chat NIT games at the Better Seeds home arena. Is that a thing? Because if it is, I'm going to have to make a trip up to Blacksburg when we get back from Vegas. All jokes aside. All right, we got Walker coming in, resubbing. Let's go, boys. Come on, Walker. Sure we can. We got O. Hohen. I think that's how you say his name. Coming in, resubbing for 1 month. Love to see that, O. Hohen. Hopefully we see more months to come. All right. Sharp Report recap. W. Goots, keep us in line here. Keep us in check. 3-2 for me. 2-3 for Javon. Boston College blew it in an OT. That's where dogs go to die. Wake Forest never had a pulse. Something weird about that team. I don't know what it is, but they can't close, and they give me hokey vibes a little bit. It's a lot of potential. Not a lot of results for the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. They did not come through. Neither did Juwan Roberts. Somehow in that game where Houston dominated, he ended a couple short. So hate to see that. Bradley Beal also banked too. Can't make it up. Disgusting. Not happy about it. USC was hanging around in the first half. They got obliterated. Lost by like 20. No bueno. Terrible bets. USC future to win the Pac-12. I fucking bet. Terrible bet as well. All right. St. John's, free. St. Peter's, free. They almost blew it. Somehow held on for dear life. Holy smokes. And New Mexico last night. Just a great bet. Great bet.
Fantastic.
I don't know if you caught that game. You catch any tidbits?
Caught a little bit of it. Definitely tuned in at the end, yeah.
Whew. Man, they played well.
They did.
I mean, I'll tell you what. Put that New Mexico team in the tournament, will you? Please? I want to see that offense in the tourney. And does nobody know or care their defense is a top 50 rated defensive efficiency in the country? I don't get it. Everyone acts like that team only puts up 90 points a night. They don't play a lick of defense. They do this year, minimally. They're pretty solid. Look, I like this New Mexico team. I really do. I feel like a lot of times, they get complacent. They take terrible shots. You see guys like Mashburn just jacking. You see House, House might be the most emotional player I've ever seen in my life on New Mexico. You see him get in his head a little bit and start to get some stupid fouls. Next thing you know, he's playing like moose shit. Donovan Dent is the anchor of that team. He came through last night. His PRA was free. I hope you guys tailed that. Props.cash. Shout out them for finding that chart for me. W's. Donovan Dent, the team goes with him. And he got out to a great start. He scored the first 7 points of the game. It was over in the first couple minutes. I mean, Donovan Dent controlled the pace. Absolutely dominated. He's only a sophomore. I'll tell you what, Javon, him and that UNLV point guard, Dean Thomas, I mean, those kids are next up in the Mountain West.
Shout out Dean Thomas. Even in a loss, he was him yesterday.
Yeah, I know he's probably blown, right? He missed like 3 or 4 shots at the ends that were tough, right? A couple, running layups, a couple threes that, could
Yeah.
have taken the game into another OT. But my goodness, that kid reclassified. He should be a senior in high school this year. And he reclassified as a 5-star to come and play and be that point guard of the UNLV team this season. They thought there'd be growing pains. I mean, there's been minimal. He is insane. And I really hope we see fucking 7 teams from the Mount West in the tourney this year. Let them all in. They're exciting.
Jeez.
They're fun. I mean, we know what happens typically when those teams get in March Madness, right? Besides San Diego State last year, they all stink and they never win. But I feel like this year, I mean, the Mount West has never been this good. The late night games have been epic. They're almost always close or going to OT. They've been just unbelievable basketball. And shout out the Lobos for coming through last night, keeping their season alive. Are they in with another Q1 win against Boise State last night? Do we think they're officially in, or do they have to win one more? What are we thinking?
They might have to win one more. They're like right on the edge. It definitely, it's going to fuck it all up. Florida Atlantic's going to fuck it all up because I feel good about them not winning that tournament. So that's another bid stealer to potentially add to the equation. But I don't know. They're close. I think they're in, probably like slightly in as of now. It's just tough. It's getting crowded in there.
Yeah, it's for sure getting crowded. We'll see how it plays out, Goots.
Did you hear Jalen House's voice?
Oh, I do.
Yeah. Not what I was expecting.
Sounds like Patrick Mahomes.
From the start of this game, you and your team had your foot on the pedal and just did not stop. What was the mentality that really you led from the start?
Keep our foot on their necks the whole time. I mean, they got us twice already this season. We tried to beat a team 3 times, so we just.
I don't know if I'd call that Patrick Mahomes.
That's what people are saying.
A little higher pitch, Mahomes.
A little bit.
I mean,
I don't want to shit on him too much, but yeah.
I'll be honest with you, Goots, because I picked up on it too. I mean, I've been watching Jalen House ball out for the last couple seasons. I mean, he is by far the most energetic player I've seen in college basketball over the last 3 years out of any team, any conference. The guy is just an electric factory. He's always getting involved in the crowd, always chirping the other team, blowing kisses to the fucking, opposing benches and crowd and shit like that. The guy's electric. I never thought he'd be, sounding like a mouse when he hopped on the fucking post-game presser. But,
nope.
He can sound however the hell he wants if he's putting on performances like last night. He was unbelievable.
I think they were saying last night on the broadcast that he had in 2 games against Boise, he had 5 and 7 points, and then he comes out and towards 29. So that's awesome.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Sure.
That sounds about right for Jalen House. Yep.
Yeah.
Unbelievable performance for the Lobos. Maybe they have to win one more, Javon. We were thinking tonight. I mean, they were saying they treated that Boise State game like a playing game, right?
Yeah, they're saying it
after. To stay alive.
I think in that interview they told them you're in the first tournament, which I don't think is true. I was really confused. He was they asked him, you're like,
what do you mean they told him they're in? Who told
him? The guy in the interview was like, with that win, you're in the tournament. He's like, yeah, it's my first NCAA tournament. I'm excited. I'm like, I don't think you're surefire in yet, buddy. I don't know what we're talking about.
I mean, you got the A10, now a 2-bid
league.
Yeah, the
A10 stole a bid too. I mean,
a couple other of these mid-majors that are finishing up this weekend. Who knows how they play out, right?
Yeah.
If all these conferences end up being 2-bid leagues, you're going to see power conference teams, auto-bid squads get snubbed. And we hate to see it, but there's only a certain amount of squads, right? There's nowhere to put them.
Yeah. It's even though they needed to win last night, I don't know that they really jumped anybody ahead of them because everybody else won too. So I don't know. I think they need to probably still win today.
Well, they're -2.5 against a Colorado State team who they did beat in that last game in late February by 2. Insane matchup. Didn't cover, but they did win that game. Before that, they lost to them. Typically, Colorado State owns this Lobo squad. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's their pace. They're the opposite kind of of New Mexico. I mean, I know they like to score and put up points. Don't get me wrong, but they don't do it with pace and tempo like New Mexico does. They're slow and steady. Isaiah Stevens leading the way and, feeding the ball into the paint when needed. But that's an interesting matchup. They typically don't play well, and they're going to have to get a win. Good sign they're a favorite. Gosh, man, I knew Colorado State was going to win that game against Nevada yesterday too. Wish I bet on it. But, man, that's going to be must-watch TV at midnight tonight.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. Did you end up betting Maryland? No. Thank fuck.
Yeah,
thank fuck. They are atrocious. Thank goodness I didn't bet them. We got Big Baller coming in, resubbing. Let's go another month of squad dubs. Yes, sir, Big Baller. That's heart. 2 words, brother. Heart. All right, love it. Let's go over these moose shits, recaps. DeAndre Ayton ruined the night. Devin Carter balled. We'll talk about him more in a little bit here. Donovan Dent did his job. He smacked his PRA with about 8 minutes left in the game. He is so fun to watch. Holy smokes. Donovan Dent, whatever the name, he's only a sophomore. He is going to be lighting up the Mountain West for the next 2 years. If he doesn't transfer, please don't. Him and JT Toppin are going to be insane in a couple of years. Holy shit. Let's keep moving. All right, let's show you guys the other moose shit entry. Bradley Beal, smacked 2. Of course he did. Not 3, not 4, not 5. He knew he was hitting 2. Did Bandiago get an assist?
No, he played for like 10 minutes. He had like 3 fouls in like the first 5 minutes of the game, so it didn't matter anyway.
Yep. So that was the biggest fucking rat bet we could have possibly taken on the board. Good.
Yeah.
And then we got Tristan Da Silva. Did he end up soaring? I'm sure he did. They won by 100.
I didn't check tabs on Colorado late in that game.
Do a quick tab check.
Yeah, 14.
Da Silva came through.
Yeah, 14. He did. They go under.
All right. Not our best work, chat. We have to be better. All right. I know we'll have some entries, some squares for the weekend. Tomorrow's Saturday. You guys know what that means. A cheat sheet is on the horizons. All right. So stay posted. We will have plays for tomorrow. We recorded an MLB pod yesterday. All right, guys. We will be releasing that, rumor has it, later today, going over the AL and NL East. I am absolutely stoked for that. It's going to be epic. All right. We recorded it yesterday with POD Pete. Obviously, talking about the Yankees, plenty. W. Kels. It was a good pod. All right. Went a little bit more than an hour. Obviously, talking about my Nats a little bit, but not too much. I promise you guys. If you're ready for baseball, it's 2 weeks away. Check out that pod that we released later today. At least drop a play on that puppy, will you? Or drop a like on the YouTube if you're watching the video version. It helps more than you guys know. All right. Let's go king of the board hunt, man. This is insane. I mean, they're going to write fucking books about this. I don't know what it is, but I've got a horseshoe up my ass when I'm locking in king of the board plays. I probably should only lock in these plays for the rest of my life, to be honest with you. Let's never stop this challenge, Javon. 4-1 at the table, plus 2.52 units. Sure, there was some juice in there. USC, a little bit of juice. Miami was an L. It is what it is. But we take a 4-1 king of the board week, chats, and we go about our day. Javon's got some work to do. I don't know how he's going to pull it off. He's going to sure as hell try, but he's got 2 plays he's got to lock in later today.
Yeah. I don't have to get too cute, though, which I think is the good part. I think I might need to.
I think you just need to hit 2. If you hit 2 straight bets, like minus 110, you win, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. So
how is that possible, though?
Or I think I need, yeah.
Because you're up 0.76, so you'd be up 2.56. You would win if you have 2 minus 110 bets. How about
2
that
minus
math?
110s.
Holy smokes. You guys see that mental math?
Sub-bang rumors.
That was crazy. We do have a sub-bang. Yep, Javon doesn't care about my mental math. We got I Burn and Breaks coming in hot, resubbing. Y'all are the reason I wake up and turn on Twitch every day. Most entertaining group, and I have so much fun. Love y'all and what you've done for the community. I Burn and Breaks. People forget we do it all for you and Lenbong. All right, we're not doing this for us. Me and Javon could hop on a FaceTime and lock in the winners and go about our day and counter guap. We're doing this for you guys. All right, so stay active in the chats. All right, drop some sub bangs if you're winning, if you're feeling good on this Friday, if the vibes are up, if you're going out this weekend, maybe you're hitting the games. I don't know. Maybe you're buying your tickets on SeatGeek using promo code BOOKIT for $20 off. All right, I don't know what the heck your weekend plans involve. All I know is there are so many winners to be had, and we're going to stay dialed. All right, we'll get you guys a cheat sheet tomorrow. We'll have a pod releasing tonight. All right, so stay dialed. Let's hope Javon can finish the king of the board week strong. Do you know your 2 plays yet, or you need some time? What are we thinking here?
I don't. I'm not settled on a couple yet. There's a lot on the board. I got to decide.
No pressure. All right, don't overthink it, but also don't underthink it. All right, that's one of the misconceptions out there. You can't be underthinking. All right. Nerfy of the day, Trevor Williams against his old team. 6:10 Eastern starts. All right. I came prepared with a Nerfy today. No need to scramble. No stress. Yes shot. Okay. Wow. Trevor Williams against his old team. He's about to look like fucking Nolan Ryan out there. Wow. All right. Locking that puppy in. There is your Nerfy of the day. Is there something I can pair this with, Javon? Anything looking at you funny?
Do have a square that I really like in the NBA today.
Because every time I ask you for a pair, it loses, by the way. So hopefully I jinxed it with that comment.
It has been college the majority of the time. So I think some of it's been early pairs just because we're forcing it early so we can get to the late games. But I do have a square that I do really like today. So no bullshit.
All right, don't gatekeep. What is it? Feed me.
Keontae George over points. 19.5 tonight. which they're really their entire offense for, I don't know, the last 2 weeks or so has been Keontae George, Colin Sexton, and Jordan Clarkson because they're super shorthanded. And now you have no Jordan Clarkson. So it's really just Colin Sexton, who's also going to do a little bit of facilitating. Keontae George can do it too. It's not like he's immune from that. But really moose perimeter defense for the Hawks. We've known that all season, and the volume is certainly going to be there. So, like, now it's really just Keontae George and Colin Sexton. And I will take my shot, even with Jordan Clarkson, who is a shot chucker, playing on the court with him too, and sometimes he eats up his minutes. He's been getting the volume for this, and now without Jordan Clarkson, I don't see a world where, he's not putting up 20 shots in this game, and especially in that matchup against this Hawks defense, 100% in.
All right, looks like Zach Edey's balling right now, chat. Makes sense. He's literally a superhuman, was built in a lab to play college basketball. He's insane. They might win the whole thing, straight up. All right, I dropped the link for a two-piece in chat. The Nerfy in Trevor Williams' game tonight, 6:10 Eastern. Him and Adrian Hauser. Oh, my goodness gracious. That should go well. That Nerfy, and we've got Keontae George more than 19.5 points. All right, guys, if you want a little two-piece, take the edge off later today. That could be your answer right there, chat.
Could
All
be.
right, guys. W's. Love it. You want to talk about some of these games starting up in 5 minutes? I think there's a 1 p.m.er on the East Coast starting up here.
Yeah.
We've got 2 games, Mississippi State, Tennessee. We've got ECU and USF, both starting up here in the next couple. Javon, any play?
Cake potential. Potential cake. GG's. You hate to see that. You hate to see that. But I'll give my thoughts on these games. I do think it's a little weird. I'll start with the USF game because I don't really love a side in Mississippi State, Tennessee, or really anything there. But USF, ECU, we've seen this with USF a lot this season that they don't get line respect, and now they're getting it off a team who just pulled off a pretty impressive win yesterday over a Tulsa team that had PJ Haggerty, who, he's so good. TCU legend, went off in that game. But if you remember, that Tulsa team that ECU just beat yesterday was also the team that beat USF to close the season when they were playing them on the road. So to see USF, who, like I said, usually does not get line respect, getting line respect and catching steam up to 8 in their first conference tournament game, I think that is very, very telling. So it's probably not one I'm dying to get involved in, but I would not be fading USF. I definitely think they win this game. I like them to win this tournament, especially now that Memphis is potentially out of their path. A lot of variance gone, but if they can get through this game, which I think they will, sets them up pretty well. And I think them going up to 8 right before tip, pretty telling. So I do like USF. I think they match up pretty well too. 2 teams that both want to force a lot of turnovers, and ECU definitely prone to give up their fair share. So I like USF in that game. Tennessee, I'm pretty torn in that game. I do have to say, like, tournament-wise, there's a lot of talk about the bottom of that bracket between Florida, Alabama, and Kentucky, and we'll talk about, a couple of those teams a little later. But people are forgetting about Tennessee, and I'm falling victim of that too. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just blow the doors off Mississippi State. Another one of those situations, kind of TCU-ish. Like, it's not the same because it's not Houston, not the same matchup, but they just won the game that I think was pretty crucial and, doing what they can to secure a spot on the bubble, a spot in the tournament. And now this is their little hangover game against a really good defense. So I don't know that I love Mississippi State in the spot. I wouldn't be shocked. Again, that's why I'm very far off from betting it. But yeah, I don't really love an angle in either of these first 2 games. Play under review. You pick USF to win the conference tourney. W Aloha. I'm right there with you. These refs love Purdue. It's always how it is. And yeah, I could see this. Miss State, if they keep it close, I think they have a shot to win this game. But if it's kind of hanging around that spread, I don't think they're coming through. Don't think they're coming through. And yes, they were so close to backdooring. I was almost in piss. Is it Franz or Wendell tonight against the Raptors? I think you can make a case for any 3 of those guys if you include Paolo. I know a lot of Twitters on Paolo today. I don't really disagree with that. So I'm with you there. Just went to 9.5 on offshore. Interesting. Can Bethune cook today? Possibly. And yeah, how about that Gators team total? What a sweat. Shout out Tyree Samuel for shooting probably, I think it was the most missed free throws in SEC tournament history. That was fun to watch. And I can guarantee he's going to get hacked a little bit today from Bama. We'll see how that works out. So yeah, we'll see that. W Budman, love that. Absolutely love that. And yeah, once Florida figured out the zone, they made Georgia stop going to it, so they could be a little more free flowing in offense. Hence why they scored 50 plus in the second half. It's kind of what you need. Wisconsin giving you major BYU vibes today. I could see that. Could so see that. Can I explain why I like Keontae George over Sexton? Sure. Goots, you can go back to that Keontae square. Well, more importantly, for Keontae's sake, he is going to be rolling a little more at the second unit too. So like scoring wise, I feel like he's going to get a lot of the volume kind of filling in for Clarkson in that role too. He's not going to be 100% rolling with the starters with them both on the floor. So I think the volume's a little more in his favor for the number that he's at for one, but two, I think against this defense specifically, especially when you consider, Clint Capello's no slouch in the paint, Colin Sexton's going to have to do a lot of facilitating as well. So, I think it's not a bad idea to go PRA for Sexton, include the assist part of it there. But as far as points-wise, I like Keontae George a little better. It looks like Krabs has returned.
Bro, I'm literally sitting here, and all the lights in my basement just completely go out. And I'm sitting here in the dark for 5 seconds. And then all the lights turn back on. That was weird.
Martians.
That was weird. Tens, though, chats. We're in business now. Sounding good? I hope so. Martians got my ass. Super weird. Super weird. All right, good. W's. I'm assuming you talked about the 1 p.m.ers starting up here. Did you give takes on ECU and Tennessee? You like anything in those?
Don't love anything in Tennessee, but that USF spread is fat. Like I said, for a team who does not get much line respect, and ECU just beat the team that just beat USF to close the season, one of their few losses in conference. So I thought that was pretty telling.
Yeah, I'm with you. That is a pretty fat spread, and that team does get 0 line respect. And they're coming off a loss to Tulsa at Tulsa. Embarrassing loss. I'm in. I like it. Could be a pretty good parlay piece as well.
Could be. Could be. Okay. I don't see them losing that game.
Okay. Ever watch Interstellar, Krabs? Great movie. Great movie. Are you hosting Surge Stream? Yes. I will host the Surge Stream after this. All right. The show must go on. All right. So you're stuck with me hosting instead of Trent. All right, chat. But we will have the Surge Stream immediately after the BTL today. All right. Dubs, let's hop over to the Sharp Report. Why don't we now? All right. We got 10 plays, 10 winners on this glorious Friday slate. Guys, do not blow your bankroll on this Friday afternoon / evening. All right. There are some great games today. It's not like a typical Moose Shit Friday slate. All right. But tomorrow, loaded. All right. We've got some conference championships this weekend. Do not blow the bankroll all today. With that being said, I'm going to take you to one of the most Moose Shit teams around Wisconsin. All right. I like Wisconsin today, Javon. You have any early thoughts on this team?
I mean, I cannot stand betting on the Wisconsin Badgers. But
yeah, that's probably everybody right now.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to bet on them, right? So they don't respect coins. They, started out super hot this year, and they've been pretty beat down the stretch. What's good with this Wisconsin team? Nobody knows. In Northwestern, all they keep doing is winning and covering. So who the heck wants to take Wisconsin today? Probably not a lot of people. All right. And if I check these splits as well, I think I could confirm that it's not looking like the most public play ever. You could even probably make an argument for Northwestern being a little bit public on the ML and spread as well. When these teams played earlier this year, they did Wisconsin did beat them, I will say. So I don't love that. But the spread moving up from -1.5 to -4 now on those books is hilarious. They have no business being that much of a favorite in this spot with how bad they played down the stretch. And I think they get a big-time win against a Northwestern team that I don't believe in at all. I think they're fraudulent. They've been pretty solid the last 2 years. I know they have Boo Buie. Great. He's pretty solid. But besides him, they got nobody that scares me. I don't know what the status update is at Langborg, the Princeton transfer. But either way, I like Wisconsin to roll in the spot. Looks like one of the sharper plays of the afternoon, catching some serious steam up from -1.5 to -4.
Sure. I'm in.
We got sub
bag in the chat too.
Let's go. We got Ian228 coming in hot, 18-month resub. Let's fucking go, Ian. Sure. We got Ant V coming in hot in New Mexico again today. We might have to run it back, brother. We might have to run it back. All right, we'll talk about it. That's a late night, Geyserman. Midnight. Crazy. Love it. All right, this is March. You don't get any off days. You don't have any off time. All right, so there's games in the morning. There's games at night. It doesn't stop for the next couple of weeks, and that's why we fucking love March. Plain and simple. That's why it's the best month to bet by far. All right. Javon, shocker. Take me to the Gators. Tell me why you like them against Bama today.
Yeah, I mean, I've given this same exact sell job 2 times, 2 times that Alabama played Florida already. So don't need to go too far in depth to it. Just like in a tournament setting, like I know everybody likes the Gators because they're good and people are starting to realize that. But the reason I like them in this tournament is there's like for a team who scores as much as they do, and they're playing in a 174.5 total game in a conference championship. You would think there's a lot more variance involved with their game, but there's not really. And the reason why is because of their size and because of their rebounding. Like if they come out and they shoot tour dates because they're one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country, and you're playing a Bama team who is severely undersized. And we saw that play out, the way it did in both of those games, both in Tuscaloosa and in, Gainesville. So I think that's a big crutch for them. And I also think that there's some different ways to attack Florida, which everybody's favorite thing for teams who can actually run it is going to a zone and forcing them to shoot. The problem with that in this matchup is Alabama is not South Carolina. They can't really afford to go in a zone. Their defense isn't good enough to do it. They tried it briefly in that game in Gainesville. Couldn't work. And that also makes rebounding out of the zone that much more difficult. So I think it's a really tough matchup for Alabama, like we've seen the first couple of times. And Tyree Samuel's going to do his thing. Hanlon's going to do his thing. And I do think Bama's probably going to shoot a little better, but it's no accident that they shot poorly the first 2 times. And yeah, Krabs, Cam is in moose shit.
I just don't get it, man.
Crazy. They're out to get you.
All right, we're here. Somehow the Cam that has no batteries is absolutely fucking exhausted, but we're back.
Yeah.
All right. Javon, I'll be honest, brother. I think Bama might win. I don't know. Maybe that's square. Probably is. I think Bama has a chance to shock the world here. Florida, honestly, yesterday, a little sketchy in that Georgia game. Georgia hung around pretty much the entire time, was winning at times. I kind of want to square up for Kitch and take Bama here. I thought their odds were short in the conference tourney, pre-SEC tournaments when they were plus 450. I was a little bit surprised to see that. I think they hand Florida a loss. I know everybody's on them today. They opened up plus 3.5. They are up to plus 4.5 now. So some interesting movement there towards Bama. Nobody wants Bama, right? When these guys played last time, it was a 105-87 rout from the Gators. A perfect game. I love that for them. All right. This team is pretty fucking good. I wish they weren't playing Bama today. But this Bama squad has, covered 1 time in their last 5 games. They're not playing great ball down the stretch. They barely just beat an Arkansas team in their last contest. Nobody's talking about this Bama team. Are we forgetting they have, one of the best offenses in college basketball history? They're insane. All right. So I wouldn't be shocked if they can outscore Florida today. And if that Florida team, who really didn't look like they had a closer last night, struggles once again to put them away. And I like Florida with that line move. I like Bama with that line move up from 3.5 to 4.5. So we'll have to agree.
Yeah, that's fair. And I'll say this. You know why they let Georgia hang around that game? Because they were hack-a-shacking Tyree Samuel, and he went 9 for 23 from the free throw line. Most free throws missed in the SEC tournament history in a single game. So my point was being that if Alabama does that, they can't really afford to do that because they don't have the depth to do that, especially in the interior. So if they do that, they're fucked because then they're going to have to go to the bench. Then they're going to get in foul trouble. Then Tyrese is not going to need to get fouled because he's going to be dunking before it happens. So I hope they do that. I hope they hack him. I hope they try the zone. It's not going to work.
All right. We got Daniel coming in resub and W. Daniel. Love that, my man. 23 months. Okay. Krabs, how we plan on hosting the Surge stream with the Ratchet connection? We'll be all right, Colin. We'll be all right. We'll get through this. I promise.
You got to work at it.
We'll work at it. We'll get it. Chat saying they love the Badgers today. Goods. Any props on Boo Booey? No thanks. Fade them. All right. I like Wisconsin today. Not in a rush to back Boo Booey. All right. Chats, me and Javon are splits on the Gators game. All right. But he's had a pretty good feel on that Florida squad all season. Don't be shocked if they pull off the upsets. All right. Let me take you to another potential upset in college basketball today, Javon. Let me take you to St. John's. All right. Everybody was on them yesterday. They came through, right? So we know they get to play these games on their home floor. Pretty cool, right? And we heard Rick Pitino's comments after that game last night. He was talking about, oh, we got an easy draw. We get to play UConn. Sure. Crazy take, to be honest with you. But, I mean, he's got his boys playing their best basketball of the season right now, Javon. I really like this St. John's team. I liked them before the season. Terrible starts, but now they're sitting at 20-12, feeling pretty good, right? They probably, have to win this game to be, feeling comfortable getting into March Madness, right? So they're probably going to have to pull off this upset, but I wouldn't be shocked if they keep this game close or maybe even win outright. I'm taking the points. I'm not a heathen. I'm not crazy, all right? But I just love the way Soriano, Jenkins, and Dingle are playing right now. Jordan Dingle, this guy is a scorer who can literally, put the ball in the hoop at anywhere on the court. He can shoot the deep ball, right? He can get to the rack a little bit. He's been great. We know Jenkins has been unbelievable. They got the paint presence in Soriano, who can hang a little bit with Klingon, at least minimally. I can't stay away from St. John's in this spot. Once again, I'm going back to the well. I don't see how they keep this game within 10 points. It's going to be down to the wire. It's going to be close. I know everybody's loving UConn, and this team just keeps destroying everybody. I get it. But at some points, you got to back the other team and fade this Goliath. And I think today's the day with the way Rick Pitino's got his guys playing.
Yeah, I can see it. It feels very, very Florida-esque, so I can't hate you for it. I'm with it.
Yep. Spread really has not moved much at all. Interesting.
Yeah.
Trying to see the splits on this UConn game. It is a little bit of an early game, chat, so don't miss it. All right, 5:30 Eastern. Yeah, I mean, UConn, insanely public. Not surprising, right? So they've been a wagon all season. I really do think Soriano can hang in there at least minimally and keep this within a 10-point game down low with Klingon. I'm liking St. John's.
Can respect that.
All right. Take me back to Baylor, a familiar friend. What do you like about them tonight? +1.5.
Familiar friend. And yeah, I'm kind of sticking to my pre-tournament read with Baylor, which kind of figured that this matchup was coming, them and Iowa State. And it's pretty tough to beat Iowa State in the Big 12 tournament, as we all know and we've all seen. It's literally their second home gym, and they run that place pretty much every time they play there, especially when it's a massive matchup like this in the semifinals. I mean, this game's going to be great. I will say the defenses in this game, I think Baylor, especially if you watched last night's game or if you've watched them for the past, I don't know, month and a half since they've really brought out the zone, their defense is a lot closer. They're a lot closer to Iowa State than people realize. And they've mixed it up. They're just a little smaller in doing it. Obviously, they have Jacoby Walter, Ray J. Dennis, and a lot of those guys that even come off the bench, and they're a little smaller. They don't play with as much size as Iowa State, but that 1-3-1 zone works to a lot of teams that don't really have the consistency to shoot over the top of it. We saw that with Cincinnati in the second half. Iowa State is not built for that either, really, unless you get like a random Milan Monsilovic type game, which I don't think you're going to get today, because I think they match up really well there with the Jalen Bridges matchup. But it really comes down to the play inside. Baylor likes to spread the floor, get a lot of space for their shooters and run to the rim. If they can do that, and Misi can be strong in there as well, I think they're set up for success in this game. And on the other side, I think their defense is going to do more than enough against Iowa State, who is also going to do nothing but rim run, but their guards have been stepping up lately, and especially with that 1-3-1 zone, it's taking a lot of pressure off of them to guard on the ball. So I think it's Baylor. I think they're on a collision course for Houston, kind of like I thought was going to happen at the beginning of the tournament and the final tomorrow. Muted rumors. Cake.
This might be the most public you will see, or least public you will see Baylor all season, right? I mean, Baylor typically a public darling. People love betting on them, right? They're a wagon. They're ranked top 15 in the country. Not today, though. I mean, they're getting less than 27% of bets and less than 20% of the handle on that spread. They're getting less than 50% of the bets and handle on the ML. People are on these Cyclones, right? So they know they got that almost home court atmosphere in there with all the fans. There'll be some Baylor people in there too, though, making some noise. Yeah. The Cyclones have been great down the stretch overall. Let's fade them. I'm in. I'm down to take Baylor.
There you go.
W's. All right. Let me take you to my Aggies. All right. I'm not giving up on them just yet. They're playing pretty fucking good basketball down the stretch, and they opened up +3.5 dogs. That's short against Kentucky, who is, coming off of an unbelievable win at Tennessee in the last game of the regular season. And now this is their first game of the postseason. I mean, talk about a letdown spot for Kentucky. We've seen teams, like Duke get knocked out in their first game once they had a bye and missed the first couple rounds. We've seen some of these wagons, these one or two seeds, not look super sharp in that first game when some of these other teams have had a couple, contests under their belts in their conference tourneys. So I think this is the perfect system to fade Kentucky, in a letdown spots. I love the way the Aggies are playing of late. They've won and covered their last 4 games. They've beaten some pretty solid opponents during that stretch as well, and they know they got to keep on winning if they want to keep their season alive and play in March Madness. And I wouldn't be shocked if they do it again. I mean, they did just hang and beat Kentucky the other day when these guys last played, and they put up a 97 Berg. So everybody's saying no chance they can hang with that Kentucky offense, no chance they can hang with the pace. Oh, sure they can. And they've got plenty of veterans who can potentially clamp up some of these Kentucky guards, at least minimally, and keep them from putting up 100 Berg. So I'm in love with this Texas A&M team in this spots. I love the plus 3.5 opener. Sure, that spread's going to move. Everyone sees Kentucky minus 3.5 and saw them beat Tennessee the other day on their home floor, and they're thinking there's no chance Kentucky loses. It's their year. They're back. I think they might even win the tournament. Wrong. The Aggies are playing hungry right now. They're playing their best ball of the season. Hate to say it, but in Buzz we trust. He's got his guys playing very well right now. Tyrese Radford, Wade Taylor breaking out of his slump a little bit too. I trust these guys to put up enough points and hang with Kentucky.
I would love nothing more. If we get a Gators win and an Aggies win, I would love that a lot more than Florida, Kentucky.
Say
that.
Wrong, Krabs. Krabs, stop the cap. Bro, I figured you'd be a Wade Taylor guy. I'm confused. I figured you'd be all hyped that I'm on the Aggies if your name's Wade Taylor, but who knows? And also, we did not miss his sub bang. I cannot let this go unnoticed. I burn and breaks, giving out another subby to the community 10 minutes ago. Let's go, I burn and breaks. W's beast. Loving the Aggies today. Any chance you get to the counter with Buzz Williams' squad?
Probably not, but okay. I'll be rooting for it.
All right. That's fair. Wade Taylor lives in Lexington. Oh, are you talking about yourself here? Third person type? Because if that's the case, maybe you're low-key a Kentucky fan too. I don't know what's going on with that. I'm going to let that be in chat. All right. Over for that game for me. I don't hate the over. I'm not going to take it myself. These teams both put up a combined 190 points in that last contest, but would not mind the over. I think we'll get some points in that game. All right. Fair. Looks like Primer's on it as well. Goods. Wade Taylor thinks Cats will roll by a milli. Okay, good. Third person confirmed. And Lexington, he lives in Lexington confirmed. So low-key a Kentucky fan. How is your name Wade Taylor if you're a Kentucky fan, bro? What? That's so confusing. All right, take me to Houston. Why do you like them laying 9.5 once again today? Javon can't stop betting the Cougs.
Yeah, I really on first look, I really didn't want to go back to the spot, being that I just took them to do similar things that I want them to do today defensively yesterday against the Frogs. But I think the matchup is kind of similar, but oddly enough, I'm kind of leaning on their offense today, which is a little different because Texas Tech, they've been missing Warren Washington for 5 games, which they've played 5 games. They've gone 4-1. You want to know which one of those games they lost? I'll list you the opponents here. It was Texas, West Virginia, Oklahoma State, Baylor, and BYU, of course, yesterday. They lost to Texas. You know what Texas has? Texas has Dylan Dessou. And they're missing Warren Washington. It's not just the fact they have a body in there to hang with, a really good big, because frankly, other than, you could argue Misi, but he's kind of young, a little inconsistent. The rest of those teams don't have a dominant big, especially yesterday with BYU. They certainly don't have that in Traore when he's on the floor, another inconsistent guy who couldn't really do too much of anything yesterday unless he was on the pick and roll. They played a lot on the outside, shot a lot of threes. That's what BYU does. But Texas Tech wants to keep you outside of the paints. They want to play. They play the no middle defense, same shit that Baylor does. So what do you need from that? You need a big man that makes it intimidating to come in the paint, and you really can't shoot over top of him. That's what Warren Washington is. They don't have that now. They're a little thin there. They're a little young there. And you also need to not have a really elite playmaker at the point guard position on the other side. Guess who Houston has? Jamal Shed. It's going to be a Jamal Shed masterclass. So, I think as much as I love Houston's defense in this game, because I think they're going to shut down, not as aggressively as they did TCU, because TCU can't shoot. Texas Tech can shoot a little better. Pop Isaacs, Joe Toussaint, Darren Williams even. Much better shooters, much better offensively. I think they can shut them down, realistically, but Like, I think Houston's offense is in a really good spot today. Like, Jamal Shead is going to get wherever he wants. I think he had 20 and 10 plus in the first matchup, and there's a reason why. I think if you're looking – I was looking for this regular square on Prize Picks, but they only have a demon square up for Jamal Shead, 6.5 assists. I think that's a really good square too. In that game, shouldn't be much of a demon because I think that's his actual line. It's just plus money. But he's going to be able to play make all over the court. I think it's really tough for Texas Tech to match up when they're so thin, especially if they get in foul trouble, which is also probably imminent. So I think Houston takes care of business with by double digits.
Okay. Continuously riding with Houston. I mean, it'd be treating you pretty well of late. That's for sure. This team is a wagon. They should not be faded. If anything, they should be bet on. All right. Tennessee is bad. Shocker that they did not come out hot after getting routed by Kentucky on their own floor. Holy smokes. They might have lost some confidence. Something weird. Something is off with that Tennessee team. I've talked about it all year. I don't know what it is, but not getting the same vibes I have from the Volunteers in previous years in the postseason. I feel like they're missing like their bruiser in the paint. I don't know. Maybe it's Vescovy not playing his best ball. They don't look locked.
Something weird.
Mississippi State looks locked right now. Okay. All right. Let me take you guys to Providence. Everybody wants to know about this play. And somebody in chat also asked about UAB today. That's a weird game. I don't know about that game. I probably would lean UAB, but I don't know if I want to be involved. They've already lost to Wichita once this year. But let me take you guys to Providence. All right, let me take you guys to this disgusting game. Providence Marquette, probably no Tyler Kolek. I would be surprised if we see him the rest of this tournament. That's huge for Providence. And if you haven't been following what Devin Carter's been doing, chat, I mean, this kid has been playing out of his mind, not only with points. We took him yesterday, soared over, free, easy, but also just with rebounds and getting to the rack and making his free throws. The guy is just a complete player. I mean, he's had, over 10 rebounds, over 11 rebounds in 4 of his last 7 games. And guys, he's a fucking guard. He's got no business getting more than 11 rebounds in 5 of his last 7 games. Crazy heart, Devin Carter everywhere on the floor. All right, this dude is a machine. He can't stop getting rebounds. He's got fucking magnets in his hands. I don't see how Devin Carter does not continue and building on this momentum he's had at the end of the year. This Providence team, I know they lost Bryce Hopkins. Took them a while to get going, but now this team is playing some of their best ball, inspired ball. You could call it. Their coach, absolute fucking beast coming over from George Mason. He's got his guys playing right. All right, and Marquette's, sure, they've got Iguodaro down there in the paint, whatever. I'm not worried about him because we know this Providence team has Oduro down low, and he could do plenty on the block down there. So I'm loving Providence in this spot. I'm taking Devin Carter, PRA, because he's been a rebounding machine. The guy is absolutely cracked out of his mind. So I wouldn't be surprised if he drops another 25 berg and then drops another 10 rebounds on top of it as well. This Marquette team, they got away with it last night. They got away with murder, right? They went into overtime in that contest. I think having no Tyler Kolek is going to catch up to them against this Providence team that all they do is fucking win in the postseason or when it matters most. When their backs are against the wall, Providence wins. Doesn't matter who their coach is. All right, that is carried into this season. And once again, when they need another win to keep their season alive and keep their March Madness hopes alive, I don't see how Devin Carter doesn't go nuclear. And I don't see how Providence, who opened up, plus 3.5 in the spot, plus 5.5, down to 4.5. I don't see how they're not one of the best plays of the day today on the card against a Marquette team that barely just escaped with their lives.
It could be Providence season. I mean, Devin Carter's definitely a guy I want to have my coin on right now. He's so good. So
out of his fucking mind. All right, chat. Taking his PRA on Prize Picks, and I'm taking Providence in the points. All right, Mike, you'll be happy. We'll see how that plays out. Crabs, any chance your boots on ground at the ACC tourney tonight? No, but I'm probably going to go tomorrow night, Snacks. We'll see how it goes. All right. Javon, take us to the Denver and the Spurs over. We've got a rare NBA play for today.
Yeah.
Love it.
Quick aside of the NBA.
Sure.
So this is something that I've started leading into, I guess, the last couple of Nuggets games where they've played teams like this, teams with really bad perimeter defenses. I think they've slowed down initially and kind of realized that they have to pick up the pace against a lot of these teams, and it's working. Like, I don't know if you remember, if you were watching the Raptors game, which there was a massive advantage inside for Jokic, and they're trying to attack it, but he's not really built like that. So like their offense, when they're able to get out and run for a little bit and, really work with Jamal Murray and KCP and a lot of those guys on the outside attacking areas in the defense which were vulnerable, that was working a lot more. So like I think Jokic, first of all, I mean Spurs, even with Wemby's cool, whatever, great defender, but they give up a shit ton of points to the center position. That's why a lot of people are on Jokic. So I think the matchup advantage is very clearly there in the first place. But on the perimeter, they can't guard really anything that the Nuggets are going to throw at them. So it's another one of those, kind of like the Raptors, where I do think the Nuggets are going to be able to pretty much score at will in this game. It is a little bit of a tough spot for them too. They're coming off of still this little high of beating a lot of these really good teams. I mean, they just went to the second finals rematch of the year, shut down the Heat in a very low scoring game, held them to 88. They match up really well with them. It's not necessarily the same with the Spurs. So I think this is going to be a lot of perimeter shooting, probably more than you'd think in this game. And there is a reason why the total started ticking up as low as it is. The Spurs team against like really good defenses has not been doing much of anything as of lately. I think they do today. I think a lot of their guys, where you're talking Trey Jones, is probably going to have to be a little more aggressive shooting wise today, but he's going to be an elite facilitator to whoever ends up playing for them, whether it's Vassell or anybody on the outside. So I think they can score too on the Nuggets. I think for all the shit teams that you could put out there against the Nuggets, I think they match up better than people realize too. So taking points.
Yeah, where are they playing this game? Are they playing this in like a neutral court down there in San Antonio?
Yeah, they're playing at the Texas arena, which, I mean, that's why the total is probably a little lower than you would expect.
It looks like they're playing in the Frost Bank Center in San Antonio.
I think they're playing in the Moody Center now. I thought they were playing at Texas's place. Maybe.
Let me know, chat. Let me know.
Yeah, there's like this big arena in San Antonio. They do some of these games. It's like 90,000 seats.
We got to figure this out.
I'm not sure what it's called, though.
Yeah, playing Texas place. Moody Center. They're playing.
Why are they doing that?
They play it's like a 2-game set. They have this game, and they're playing Sunday there.
Huh. Super weird. Yeah, it is in the Moody Center. Can confirm on their websites. All right. Yep. Interesting. Does that make you feel any differently about the total at all?
No. Because, I mean, it's two teams that, like, I think, first of all, like, if there wasn't a crutch, like, on the inside and had to be, like, completely reliant on, like, 3-point shooting, that would be different. But there is. And I think the Nuggets could go to that at any point, and they're going to dominate and score that game. Or score a lot of points in that game. So I really don't care.
All right. Javon doesn't give a hoot if they're playing on some neutral court down where the Longhorns play. Still kind of a home game for the Spurs. All right. Maybe it'll even help them score a little bit. Smaller arena, less depth perception issues. We'll see how it plays out.
I've spoken to a couple of the TCU guys who said they love shooting in Moody Center. So maybe it's a thing because none of them can shoot anyway. And for whatever reason, they really like shooting there. So could be a difference.
Good, and the total's already on the way up as well, up about 2 points.
Which is interesting because there's a lot of neutral court games, even like preseason really doesn't count, but they have a lot of those games. You don't really see one tick up very often. It usually is like auto. It's going to move down because, like everybody knows, neutral court, new shooting environment for a lot of these guys. You're going to see a total tick down because you want to take the under. See it tick up. It's not something you regularly see.
All right. Yeah, this feels like one of your just NBA overs that is no stress, no sweat, knock on wood. So see how it plays out, right? So you typically come with a couple of those a week, and this could be the one. I'm in. All right. Chat, take a little mental screenshot of this puppy. All right. We will post this sharp reports on the Book It BTL Twitter shortly after the show. All right. So you don't have to take notes, but remember some of these plays. You might need them this afternoon or later tonight. So many great games. Giovanni, you want to talk about some of the other CBB contests going on that were not on the sheet?
Of course.
Sure. W's. All right. So looks like the hype train closed at level 2. That ain't no problem, chats. Feel free to drop some subbies or at least go subscribe to our YouTube. It is free as heck. It takes 3 seconds. We'll drop the link right now in chat. If we get to 5K subbies before March Madness starts, I will do a 24-hour stream. Do your part. Subscribe to the YouTube. It's free. It takes 3 seconds. No excuses. All right, the link should be coming any minute. We will drop it here in chat from our W mods. and we'll go about our day. Bang. W, Goods. Good work, brother. Guys, go subscribe, please. Will ya? All right, we got to get to 5K before March Madness starts. We only have like a week. All right, go, 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 go. Hurry up. I want to do a 24-hour stream for you guys. Can't do it unless we get to 5K. All right? Dubs, love it. Javon, let's dive into some other games that were not on the Sharp Report. Middle Tennessee. Are we seeing them do anything today? Pulling some magic. Any chance we see them once again? I feel like every single year, this Middle Tennessee State team makes some noise in this conference tourney, no matter how good or bad they are. They've got a chance to pull off another upset today against a Western Kentucky team that I don't think is that great. They opened up +5.5. They are up to +6.5, so I don't love that. Javon, any thoughts on the Blue Raiders keeping their season alive?
I mean, I can't say I'm really too far from you and liking them in this tournament. My one, I guess, line movement thing that kind of is worrying me, I feel like we probably would not see a massive move to the over along with, the move towards Western Kentucky if they had a shot in this game. So I don't like seeing that total move up a lot. That's could be really bad for Middle Tennessee State. It's not like Western Kentucky's defense is going to provide, much resistance, but that kind of scares me.
Definitely, right? And we already know Middle Tennessee State's upset Western Kentucky once this season. So a little sketch for sure. All right. Not great vibes there with Middle Tennessee. We'll let the future ride out, see how it plays. Let's keep on moving and grooving. Bethune-Cookman, get them off my screen, dude. They turned into the fucking Warriors last night. They were unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Unreal.
Dude. What about UAB? You said you might think they lose and don't win this conference tourney, maybe stealing the bids, making this a 2-bid conference. What are your thoughts on Wichita, who comes in this tournament, or honestly comes in this game very hot right now?
Well, I'm hoping UAB doesn't steal a bid because the winner of this game would get the winner of the USF game, which shout out USF. They're up 10 right now. They better hold. But I don't know. This is a pretty tough game. Like, I don't think, first of all, like UAB, and if they just feed Yaxel the whole game, like they should dominate. It's like Wichita State. Nobody's down there. Nobody physical enough, or big enough to really hang with Yaxel. So, I mean, that's a significant advantage for them there. So I would not be surprised to see UAB run away with this one if this happens. Yeah,
I like UAB. They're catching a little bit of steam. They already lost to Wichita once this year when they played. They did not end the season very strong. Neither really did Wichita, but we're here. All right. I'm looking to see what happened in that first game when they played. Can't find any stats. Was hoping I could see. Here we go. What did Yaxel do? Yaxel played 30 minutes. He had 20 points in that game. Holy smokes. He had 38 PRA.
Yeah.
Did we target him on Prize Picks today, Javon? What are your thoughts on Yaxel?
I mean, if he's up, that's a square that has to be played.
Yeah, right? Let me check. Come on, Yaxel. Show me the money. Oh, he's up. And he's popular. His rebounds is insanely popular on Prize Picks. Second most popular square. Sure. Not even trying to fade it, to be honest with you.
No.
I think we just take his PRA, right?
Yeah. It could be interesting too. PRA's main play here, but I do see a demon assist on the board too. So I wonder a lot of these big men, when they have the demon assist up and it's obviously like very low and they've dominated the pass matchup, obviously like they're going to want to get the ball out of his hands. He's probably going to be doubled at some point, and he had 3 in that pass matchup too. So I could see that happening again. I think like value wise, maybe not a bad stab at a demon. Not that's what you want to do looking at the board usually, but yeah, definitely PRA. I think he's going to dominate this game in every which way.
All right. Good old Yaxel, who's been a wagon on Prize Picks all season. I've tried to fade him, but I've come along to just tail this guy. He's a machine. And against Wichita State, who he dominated in that first matchup, but they still lost, the Shockers have no bodies down low to slow him down. Let's back Yaxel today. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in.
All right. W's. Let's keep on moving and grooving. Let's check out some of these other games. Auburn, thoughts, Javon?
I mean, we've done this song and dance with South Carolina every time. They get short lines, but what the big thing here is? I've heard about all week coming into this tournament how Auburn has not beat a tournament team away from home. So it's not only that they're getting a big line against a South Carolina team that continues to beat these lines, continues to do this, But everybody knows damn well that they don't believe in Auburn because they haven't shown it. They only show it in the jungle, which is one of the best home court advantages in all of college basketball.
Right.
Now they're on a neutral court. So, like, the story's a little different. So to see this line respect with both of those things included, it's going to be Auburn today.
Okay. All right. I mean, yeah, they are laying, 7.5, 8 to a South Carolina team that just keeps on winning and keeps on saying, fuck your spreads, doesn't matter. They win outright. I mean, I'm not in a rush to fade South Carolina at this point. They've taken so many of my coins this season. They just keep on cashing. They don't care what's sharp or what's not. But love the angle with you on Auburn. If I had to bet that game, would definitely be laying it with the Tigers on that fat spread. Are you kidding me? Has to be done. Has to be done. All right. W's. We talked about St. John's, chat. Do not forget to get in on the Johnnies against UConn on the spreads. Wouldn't be shocked if that gets down to 9. All right, guys. Bowling Green plus 1.5 against Kent State. I lean Bowling Green. I think they're just different this season. They've got luck on their sides. They keep winning games, coming through in sharp spots. They had an outright win yesterday. They might just be a team of destiny this year in the MAC. Bowling Green plus 1.5 or plus 100.
Surprised. That spread looks odd now.
Yeah, but Bowling Green spreads have looked out against them all season. It hasn't mattered. They're just different.
Yeah, you're not wrong. If it was anybody other than Kent State, who we've seen be really good in the last couple of years, I would probably be on Kent State, but maybe a little different.
Yeah, Kent State's been a wagon, right? And they're coming off that nice little upset against Toledo. I think Toledo was the 1 seed in the MAC this year once again, and they folded, which is crazy. If not, they were the 2 seed. But, Kent State coming off that crazy win. Kent State has had some magic in this tournament in years past, right? They don't have Sincere Carey anymore, but impressive win. They've really struggled all season, though. I'm not trying to buy Kent State stock right now after that outright win against the 1 seeds. I think Bowling Green is just one of those teams like American was last year where it didn't matter. Nobody thought they were good, including the odds makers, and they just kept coming through and winning games under their new regime. So I'll just keep that as a stay away game, but definitely lean Bowling Green there at home or in the home slot, but it's obviously a neutral site. Okay. Dubs, are you fading UConn with me today or no?
No.
Okay.
It's giving me, not just because it's the same number, but slight USC vibes.
God damn it. All right. What about St. Peter's plus 2.5 against Quinnipiac?
I'm so good on that. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay.
I think
I mean, fading Quinnipiac is a death wish, right? Another one of those teams that just doesn't make sense. They're not that good, but they just keep winning games. Super weird. I'm good on fading them as well. We take our money we made on St. Peter's last night. We won.
Yeah, we got the coin from them.
Now, what about Ohio State, man? Because Ohio State's, Chris Holtman gets fired. Obviously, the team sees he gets rehired by DePaul, I believe, actually yesterday. Crazy.
Yeah, I think that's on the way.
I'm sure the Buckeyes boys are going to want to show out once again and say, fuck our coach. We're better, and he was the problem. They've been doing that since he got fired. They've looked like a completely different ball team. They look like that team from the first 2 weeks of the season when they were great. They look sharp. I was even saying maybe this is Ohio State's year to actually do something. Well, that went away pretty quick. Once they got into conference play, fired their coach. Now they're back. Ohio State on the spread here has to be a look against Illinois. But again, Illinois, one of those teams, doesn't get the respect on the lines, and they just keep on winning and they keep on covering. They're 18-12-1 against the spread this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty tough game. I'd be lying if I said I would really dying to get involved, but I think Ohio State is definitely a play. It's
got to be the sharp side there.
Yeah, I mean, that's a hot wave I wouldn't mind riding as far as these couple of these really good teams that are playing well right now are riding in the tournament.
All right. What about North Texas and FAU? Any comments on that game?
I like UNC. Has to be. They're going to slow FAU down. Definitely helps that it's on a neutral court. I mean, definitely not a home game for UNT, but pretty close to it. There's going to be plenty of fans there. There always has been the last 2 times that they moved the tournament over there. So I think it's obviously like a definite matchup advantage for them because they have the bodies to kind of slow down Vlad in the paint, which is what you need when you're going to make FAU play a little slower. You obviously see that with the 137 total too. So I think it's UNC. I think this game comes down to last possession. We get like a crazy finish in this game, and hopefully they win. I'd love to see that.
They lost both games this season by a combined 7 points to FAU. They were hanging around in both those contests. We've seen a lot of teams like that in spots very similar, like St. Peter's. that have come through in that third game and broken the seal, right? And finally beaten them. Tough to beat a team 3 times in a season. And good to see they were competitive in both those contests. Wouldn't be shocked if they win that game outright. I'm with you. I personally think you either take the ML, maybe for a little bit of a smaller bets, and they're either going to win outright or they're going to get blown out. Personally, I don't even think the spread is worth our time.
If it wasn't UNT, I would agree, but I think it's going to be. I think it'll be a close game. Go ahead. The thing, I remember this the last time they played. I think it was maybe a week ago, and that's so not good.
Some chirping.
Wow, they're fighting.
Getting heated. Braden Smith hurt too. I mean,
I don't want to show that.
Apart. Yeah, I probably don't show that.
He's hurt,
but
yeah, he. It looks like an ACL.
Oh my God, they're fucked.
Yeah,
potentially cooked.
Are you kidding me?
Not good.
Produced toast.
Not good at all.
Wow. All right, 800 viewers on Twitter right now. Let's go Planet Gambling. Sure we can.
Sure.
Seems legit. All right.
Yeah.
Pitt UNC.
First, I want to say this about back to the UNT game. I remember the last time they played a week ago. I was a little surprised that FAU, even though they are playing really good to go out the season, they were favored by 2.5, 3 at North Texas. So I was probably expecting a little bigger of a number here too, bigger than they opened 4.5 and they're up to 5.5 now. Sure, but I was expecting a little fatter of a line for FAU. I'm not going to lie. The fact that it's not 6.5, I think that's a little telling. It's going to be a close game.
ZDZ bets, one of their better players just got hurt. We'll see what happens. But if Braden Smith is out for the rest of the year, they are going to be in trouble. All right. Prayers up for him. Hope he's okay. Never want to see anybody get hurt. All right. Can we talk about Pitt and UNC's?
We can. What are your thoughts there?
Kind of think Pitt covers. Not going to lie to you. I just think you keep taking the dogs, keep taking the points in this ACC tourney, and you're probably going to win. The ACC stinks. We know that. But we saw what happened when Duke played in their first game yesterday. I mean, they lost outright. Hilarious. The most Duke shit of all time, right? They cause this scene. They cause this ruckus. They play well down the stretch. And next thing you know, they lose to Duke on their home floor to not split the share of the ACC regular season. And they lose the first game of the ACC tournaments. That sums up Duke perfectly. Okay. UNC, in that game yesterday, I believe it looks like versus Florida State, look, the Seminoles were hanging around in the very beginning. But as soon as they went down 10, 12 points, that game was over. And the Seminoles caved, and they were looking to book their vacations for the offseason. They were done. They knew as soon as they ran into any sort of trouble after beating the Hokies with ease that they were absolutely, going to lock in the spots. And UNC sketches me a little bit, Javon, I'm not going to lie, right? After just seeing Duke fall, I would not be surprised if the Tar Heels, who have been on Fuego at the end of the season and on Fuego just in the ACC tournament covering both their games, or their one game, I guess, but covered their last 3 in a row and they're on a crazy win streak at the end. I wouldn't be shocked if Pitt, a pretty physical squad that's got some veterans, I wouldn't be surprised if they hang around and keep this within the number. I just think you grab the points in any ACC game remaining and you're in business, to be honest with you.
Yeah, can't really disagree with that. I mean, it's going to have to be a Blake Hinson game. There's not really a choice, which that's why I personally will not be betting on Pitt because that's what it's going to come down to. I just know it is. So if he's hitting shots, if he's having a good game, they're in talks to win this game. And if they're not, they could lose by 20. So I think that's the matchup that it's going to have to come down to in this game. And I honestly kind of think he plays decently well. So I do lean Pitt right there with you.
You check out any of his prize pick squares?
I haven't looked at his prize pick squares.
Oh, man.
I'm taking UNC.
He's been balling. Goots. He's been balling.
Goots POD.
Yes, he's been kind of locked. It's just you feel like that one game from Blake Henson is just right around the door. And we saw with UNC all season. They gave up a lot of open threes, but magically teams just don't hit them whenever they play UNC. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen here.
Looks like Braden Smith is back. W's. Love to see that. All right, no torn ACLs. Good. Blake Hinson at more than 16.5 points. I mean, do we like points in this game? Totals at 147.5. What are we thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I have no issues for points. I don't love them, but I don't know. I'm kind of torn total-wise in that game.
Okay. All right. Let's move. Let's groove. Let's get off this nasty pick game. All right. Let's see what else we got on the boards. We got about 15 minutes left, chat. All right. Stick with us. We'll do the squad ride here in a couple. We got Azua or Oza coming in with a resub for 23 months. Let's go, Beast. Almost 2 years. Love to see that. Javon, you talked about Houston up to 10. Love that.
After Texas Tech just put on the performance of their life yesterday against BYU.
I know. That's crazy. I'm liking that spread. I want to hear your Kentucky and A&M thoughts. I got to go to the bathroom real quick, but I can hear you. I want to hear your Aggies and Kentucky thoughts. I know you hate Buzz. I do too at times. Do you think they cover? Are you thinking Kentucky rolls? You like the over, under? What are you thinking?
I mean, this is a tough game, I would say. I don't really love anything here. I definitely would probably have to lean Texas A&M with you crabs, but it's scary, especially, I mean, I remember vividly last time we went to this game or went to Texas A&M in this game. I think they were favorite at home. It was like some weird weekend game. They won it in overtime eventually, super high scoring game. So I feel like you kind of need that again, which is scary to kind of back off of. But I will say this. I mean, it feels like a lot of people have kind of penciled in the Florida-Kentucky game, that happened in the next round. And I'm hoping Florida's the one to get through and somebody's got to mess it up on the other side. But it could be Texas A&M. So I'd love to see that happen. Just matchup-wise, I think it's tough for Texas A&M to hang in this for 40 minutes with Kentucky again. And definitely doesn't help that it's, basically a Kentucky home game. But at the same time, we saw this with Baylor. We've seen this with a couple of teams in their first game. Kentucky is a fast-paced team, loves to shoot the ball well, maybe a little rust early. So I wouldn't be surprised if Texas A&M comes out and punches them in the mouth and Kentucky has to crawl back. But I cannot get to the counter with the Aggies. I just hate that team. Despise that team.
Tennessee 2 for 17 from 3. Oh, it's got to be because they put up a Dalton Newt threes combo, and they also put up a Dalton Newt points combo in the Prize Pick special. So you're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. Yep. All right. Awesome. Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving here, folks. Any Ohio Akron comments, thoughts, concerns?
Kind of good.
I think we scroll to the late night games. Let's go all the way to the bottom. I want to see midnight. I want to see the midnight puppy. Also, shout out Delaware State for coming through last night. They were free.
Call.
New Mexico up to -3 against Colorado State. Javon, what are your thoughts on that game, brother? Are we riding the hot hand with the Lobos who need a win here? Are we back in the Rams and slow and steady Isaiah Stevens? What are your thoughts?
I don't want any part of that game.
Such a tough game, man. Such a tough game.
It's pretty tough because, I hate backing teams. Like, I still think that they have, room to get into the tournament or have something else to do to get in the tournament, but it seems like a lot of other people don't, the reporter included. So I hate backing teams off of their clinching game, just like we saw with TCU yesterday, which not everybody's Houston, but they fell flat and short, just like, Wake had a chance to do it the other day, and they fell flat and short. It's like these – I don't love backing teams that are in this kind of spot. Obviously, you're in the Mountain West. Like, everybody's trying to fight for their tournament lives at this point, really, and Colorado State probably needs a serious string of wins, to secure their spot, I guess, too. So situationally, I don't love taking New Mexico, but I don't know. Colorado State just is a weird team, in my opinion. So, I think if they get the right matchups and they start shooting the ball well, they can beat anybody in this conference. I guess you could say that about a lot of teams, but in this matchup specifically, I think their matchups are all right. So, I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams pull it out.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, in my gut is telling me the Rams is the play here, just like it was against Nevada yesterday. This Colorado State team, they need some wins as well, right? They're not locked in the tournament. They need a win here. This game is important. New Mexico, maybe they think they're in, right, after that big-time win against Boise last night with another Q1 win. I think it might be the Rams. It might be. Looks like our local resident sharp, Dead Larry Bird, is saying his POD is UC Davis.
Ooh,
I want to take UC Davis. Puppy. Looks like they moved from +1.5 to -1.5 on the spread against Hawaii, who's been a coin stealer this whole season, but they have won and covered their last 4 games in a row. Impressive. UC Davis, on the other hand, also kind of on fire. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. When these guys played only, 2 weeks ago or so, we did see UC Davis get a win. When they played 2 weeks before that, Hawaii destroyed them, so they did split this season. I like the line flip for UC Davis. I don't love fading Hawaii I feel like this year that's been kind of a death wish, but Dead Larry Bird, brother, if you've got an edge, let me know what you're liking in that game. I don't really have any opinions.
I mean, I want UC Davis. I think they can make, if they get past this game, I think they can make a serious run. Or I guess they're in the semis now, but I like them to make a serious run in this tournament. And this was the game that's the big hump, I think. So I have no problem going to an Elijah Pepper masterclass. We all need that in our lives.
Yeah, he's good. Elijah Pepper can ball.
So
okay. Good. Suggest taking Baylor ML? Sure, groovy. Why not? Grab the +1.5 though, will you? That's on Javon's Sharp report. All right. Don't stray away from that, and you'll be okay. All right. Tennessee stinks. Yep, we know it. It is what it is. NC State only getting 2.5 points today. Yeah, I mean, NC State has been the fucking dream team. It's been unbelievable. NC State. I mean, this team I've thought stunk it up. I mean, all season pretty much. Pretty disappointing. Gave me hokey vibes. Out of nowhere. There's always a team every year in the ACC that does something in the tourney. This year, I guess it's NC State. I don't know. It makes no sense to me one bit, but we're here. I think it's got to be UVA. I hate to say it, and it burns my lips even with those words coming out, but I think it's got to be UVA. Who the hell wants UVA? Who believes in UVA? I mean, after last night too, right? They barely even beat Boston College. It took overtime to do it, but they closed that game very well. Maybe they build some, they bring some confidence in from last night and they get a big time win, and NC State's, legacy run here in the tourney's over. I think it might be UVA. All right. The Cavs did beat them back in January, but before that, NC State won at home. So they did split the season series. I don't know. What are your thoughts on the spread? Do you think the spread's weird? Do you think the number's right? I mean, it's not like they can make UVA much more of a favorite, although they're much better this season. They're not really playing too well on the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I think the line's right, I guess you could say. But, I mean, like matchup-wise, I think it's kind of a disaster because, like, what has NC State done, like, especially against Syracuse, but, like, even a little bit more last night? I mean, been shooting the lights out. So, like, you're not going to do that against UVA, obviously. And they need DJ Burns to be a facilitator when he gets the ball on the block, and he's going to struggle. Like, they have a body down there, which when they got into the clutch time last night, like end of the second half and overtime, Jordan Minor played some of the best defense on Quentin Post I think I'd ever seen.
And that's a great adjustment they made because in the first half, he was getting whatever he wanted, right?
Yeah.
They threw Jordan Minor's big ass on him in the second half. I mean, they couldn't do anything.
He struggled. Crazy. So, I mean, I can only assume that he's going to be seeing a little bit of DJ Burns today after, he had a couple of runs in both of those games where he was pretty dominant for, a stretch of a couple minutes like he does at the start of a lot of games. So I think that's going to make life really tough for them. And they've been shooting the lights out for 2 games. They're going to have to do it because they have no other choice in this game. I don't think they do it.
All right. Yeah, I'm with you. Unfortunately, I lean the Cavs as well. Pot number 30 died in the court storming on hashtag CTESPN, hashtag honest question.
So that's
all-time
so funny.
tweet.
I mean, there's no way it's him tweeting these, right? He's got to have a team.
Oh, it's him.
People doing all these?
No, it's him.
It's him.
You think a team would be tweeting the stuff that he tweets?
It's him.
I mean, is he literally doing nothing all day besides just tweet? Maybe.
I mean, he's
what else does he need?
He's not in training camp. What else is he doing?
He's breaking news out here. He's probably getting paid for all the news he knows.
His tweets are all time. If you guys are not hip, if you're not following AB on Twitter, holy smokes, he's a freak, dude. I mean, every single tweet he's firing off is absolutely hysterical.
He's so tapped in to like everything.
Yeah,
he's just
I love it.
Everything going on right now in the world. Like he could have his own show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so fun
on CTESPN. Maybe that's what they'll call it.
Yeah,
sure. Absurd. I saw a video. He reposted a video of somebody cutting open a fucking old lineman's brain and like they were testing it out. He's like,
wait till
you see mine. Hashtag CTESPN. I'm like, bro, they're literally chopping a brain in half in this video. You don't give a shit. Insane. Holy smokes. Chat, keep us updated with the Michigan State game. All right, keep us updated with Zach Edey. Let me know what he's doing. All right, guys.
Missing free
Javon. Yeah, he's got to hit some free throws. Any other late night Geysermans? Any other NBA or NHL you want to let the people know about before we get the squad ride moving and grooving?
scroll through some of these late games. I guess we have to go up. Baylor down to 1. Love to see that. They moved to a favorite in that basically home game for Iowa State. That's pretty telling. Pretty telling in my opinion. They might get there. Dude, that Florida total is up to 175. That is crazy.
It's absurd, dude.
In a tournament game, neutral site, 175 is nuts.
That is absolutely absurd, bro.
Yeah. I mean, for a total that high, I don't think we've seen many totals that are like even like 160s or higher get even more than like a half point of steam in conference tournament play, and this one's getting a couple points. So, I mean, that game's going to be fucking awesome. That's going to be game of the night.
All right. How about Tarleton? I don't like Tarleton. Honestly, I kind of like UT Arlington in that spot. Not going to lie. Yeah. Hard to beat a team 3 times, right? They've already beaten them twice this season. UT Arlington coming in on this crazy hot streak where they're just destroying these teams, pulling off upsets. This is the best UTA team I've ever seen right now, right this second. I would not be taking Tarleton, who's typically a wagon in this conference, in the spots, especially with that line, right? It opened up -1.5 for UTA. Sure, it's down to -1 or pick them some places. I don't care. People are all betting Tarleton. Nobody wants to bet UTA. I kind of like them in the spot. I'm not going to lie.
Sure.
All right. Can we talk about Temple winning by 15 as 11-point dogs? Yeah, I mean, they probably got to cover their tracks after they got caught fucking point-shading games. Now they're like, okay, I guess we're going to try for a couple.
SMU is also rat meat.
Yeah, SMU is so overrated, man.
Very bad.
So overrated.
Very bad at what they get scholarships to do over there. But
yep.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else really loving college basketball. I will say NHL, there's 2 games today, and there's 2 massive dogs, which I usually would look at this and say, fuck it, I'm playing one of them, because on these short slates, usually if I go out with that strategy and find 2 games, one of them hits, I'm not doing that today. I think both of these dogs just might be incredibly dead in this game. And it's not just because they're the Ducks and the Blackhawks, but I think it's tough spots for them in both those games. So the rare not even getting cute with the dog on a short slate. So leave that to the side. I know somebody asked about that a little earlier. If the Blackhawks sneak one at home, kind of don't think so. So I'm out there. Then NBA talked about the over in the Nuggets game. Kind of want to bet the Hornets too. Really weird spot. They're playing the Suns. They're catching 10.5 at home. And the Suns are coming off of, they're an old team. They play a lot of minutes last night against the Celtics, and it's a back-to-back traveling to Charlotte against a young team that's starting to play, a little better right now. They're having some of the role players step up, different one on every given night. Last one, I think, was Michich, had like 20-something points against, yeah, exactly. Michich came over from OKC, had like 20 points against the Thunder. Yeah, your favorite player. Yeah. So I mean, I think they could be pretty sneaky in this game, especially, I mean, defensively. This could be a good spot for them to continue to show an improved little perimeter defense here in a back-to-back against a Suns team that's, like I said, a little old, and they've been playing a lot of minutes, especially last night against a really tough defensive team in the Celtics. So wouldn't be surprised the Hornets make this one close. So those are the 2 that I was looking at.
EuroLeague MVP, you learn about them.
No way.
Right, I'm going to know everything about these kids. Come Monday, I'm going to know everything about this kid. I'm going to know what color shoes he wears. I'm going to know his parents' names. I'm going to know his social security number. I'm going to know it all. All right. I will come prepped. I'm going to know way more than AZ knows about him. I'll tell you that much. Any amount AZ knows about that guy, Lucic, I'm going to know just a little bit more.
Hilarious.
I'll be ready on Monday. All right. So come prepared with some questions, Javon. Let me know.
All right.
Quiz me.
You might have to ask Trent. He was over there with the Thunder for a little bit. He's familiar with him.
Lucic. I'm a Hornets fan. I know everything. Trust me. Okay. I do trust you. I do. All right. Goods. Any Clippers love today after that win last night? Great call. Or are you staying off?
No, not 2 nights in a row.
All right. Late night geysers. Are you feeling goods? I know you already gave that great Spurs Denver angle on that over.
Yeah. And then we got that, and then we got Keontae George to sweat in the late game. So that's about it.
Love that. And I tailed that 2-piece. I took it with the Nerfy in the Nats MLB game today. All right.
Huge.
I'm in.
Huge.
Tail. Goods. All right, chat. It's about that time. King of the boards. Yes, Javon. King of the board. You need some time. You got your plays.
Yeah,
You want to wait
we
till
can
after?
cook.
What's good?
We can cook squad ride while I figure out what I'm going for there.
Dudes, run that shit. I want to see that damn train. Go. W's, ladies and gents, great squad ride last night. All right, the Baylor Bears, never in doubts. They covered. They did their jobs. Love to see it. All right. Also, yes, I did know Nicholson is out. They've had a couple guys out, and that is a great thing for the Badgers on the interior. Probably has to do with that line moving too. All right. But chat, we've got work to do. All right, and we don't have much time. So lock the fuck in. If you're watching this on YouTube, that's fine. You get around the ads. Love it. All right, smarts. Work smarter, not harder. But come on over to the Twitch for the squad ride vote, will you? All right, we need as many votes as we possibly can get. Show some heart. Don't just sit there. All right, I know you guys, half you people are probably just listening on AirPods and you're not even watching. All right, put the book down, lock the fuck in, turn the stream on, and let's get your votes going. All right, I want to see 100 piece for the winning squad ride play. Not asking for much. We got hundreds, thousands of people in here. Who knows how many are actually in here? Not asking for the world. All right, 100 votes for the winner. Javon, what has to go in? I feel like that Nugget Spurs overdoes.
Yeah, I was going to say it's tough to try and convince you for the CBB plays that I have to put in the squad ride because we have Florida, which we're disagreeing on. We have Houston, which we just took that yesterday, so you probably don't love. And then we have Baylor, who's also just the squad ride yesterday.
I actually do like those last two, like a pretty good amount.
Okay.
So, I mean, we could put both those in there if those are like your two other plays that you like the most on deck.
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get this over in here real quick. Over 223.5 for Denver and San Antonio.
Sure.
CBB, Houston, and these games don't start up too early, right? We're not shafting ourselves.
No, these are late guys. There's
Houston 7 p.m. laying 10. I do like that.
And then the
Texas run.
Baylor game is right after that. So,
are we really taking that 1.5? You say the words.
I mean, it's down to 1 now. So, I mean, you might as well just take the ML.
I feel like they either win or they get blown out here. They either win or Iowa State's defense is just absolute Clarence McGee, and it's not even close. Like, this is not a game where I'm thinking the 1.5 is going to be doing anything else.
Fair. Yeah, I have no issues.
Baylor ML. Sure. Good.
Yep.
Chat, what are you guys liking? A lot of Friars love. I'm liking the Friars as well. Right now we've got the Denver Spurs over. We've got Houston -10, and we've got Baylor money line. Looking at some of my plays, I mean, I would love to put in Texas A&M and Providence, or at least Providence. Any qualms with them covering today?
No, I mean, pick your favorites. You seem confident about those guys, so I'm in.
Yeah, I definitely like Providence a lot.
Yeah, Texas A&M. I despise betting on that team, but if you feel good about it, I'm in.
Yeah, let me take one more sweep through the boards, make sure there's nothing else we talked about that I could get behind. I mean, St. John's, kind of an earlier start. I know you're not loving them as well, though. I like Pitt spreads. I like Texas A&M spread, like I was saying. I like – we didn't talk about this game, but San Diego State against Utah State after whatever the hell San Diego State did. They're winning this tournament, bro. But they're -4. Maybe that's too many points. They win that game.
Maybe that's a Bozo pack piece.
That's probably a Bozo pack piece. All right. I think we go with Texas A&M. I love that play.
All right.
I love that play.
Down.
You trust?
Yep. Put your foot down.
And Boots, we trust?
Yep.
All right. Good. Let's lock that in. Texas A&M. Chat, 5 plays, 5 winners. All right. In Goots and in Boots, we trust with Texas A&M +5.5. We've got Denver and the Spurs over 223.5. Houston -10. Baylor money line and Providence +4.5. All right. 5 plays, 5 winners. Hurry up. Go. Hurry up. Get your votes in. There's no time. All right. Lock the fuck in, chat. Pick your favorite play of the day today. Keep those blinders on. Don't click what you've been hearing. Don't click what you want to be watching. Click the winning button. It's that simple. All right. Hurry up. Go. Lock the fuck in. All right. Providence taking a crazy early lead. Holy smokes.
Wow.
Did not expect that. but no qualms.
Yeah.
I got no qualms.
Mikey going to be bricked, man.
Mikey is going to be bricked.
No, this dude said Moose all 5. Probably start over. Take them all off. Cash up the place.
You're right. Dylan center. Wasn't vibing. Let's go ahead and restart the hour-and-a-half stream. Looks like Fox is resubbing, though. He's asking, is it the VCU Rams for the 8-10? Yeah, how about Dayton dropping last night? I think all 4 dogs won outright in the 8-10 tourney yesterday. Crazy madness. That's why we love it. All right. VCU to win the 8-10. They don't play today, though, do they? They play St. Joe's tomorrow. Sure. Okay. I mean, yeah, I like VCU's, but I don't really
VCU?
like Eric Reynolds right
Are they
now.
not?
They're minus 2.5 tomorrow against Joe's.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to fade St. Joe's tomorrow.
I don't want to either, to be honest with you, man. Close vote here, chat. Lock the fuck in, chat. Hurry up. Get your votes in. Show some hearts. Show it. All right? Show some freaking heart. We need more votes. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. It's going to be the over, and it's a fucking tie, dude.
Dude.
Goots, real quick, brother. Run him again. Good thing I'm hosting Surge today. Sorry, Goots. Working overtime over there. It's also Goots' birthday on Monday, guys, so make sure you wish him extra happy birthdays today, over the weekend, next week. All right? We cannot forget about it. Goots deserves a happy birthday, solid. All right? He's been grinding his butt off. He does. And happy birthday, Javon. Yes. Good. It's birthday every weekend. All right?
Every weekend.
Chat, the poll is back up. Hurry up. If this ties, I'm handpicking this puppy, so don't even think you're getting cute with a parlay. If this ties again, we're not running it back. We pick. All right? We got Marius Cash coming in, resubbing. W's, 12 months, 1 year. Love to see that. We've got Waka 23. Can't forget about him. Resubbing for 4 months. W's. Okay? Love to see it. Chat, great vibes today. Let's finish up this BTL strong. All right? We're not getting a parlay. Lock the fuck in. Malik saying, please don't make this Providence. I like Providence today. Not going to lie. Alan, if you could vote, man, I know, dude. You'd hope that you would come over to the Twitch stream, but I know you got to hold it down. All right? Our guy said, God, I lost it, but he was talking about if he could vote, he would vote for Providence. Alan, in the YouTube chat. Denver over 223 trust. People very, very emphatic about these plays today, but it's going to be Providence. All right, plus 4.5. Somebody tell Mikey overs. He's going to be pretty fucking stoked today. All right? Javon, king of the boards. You got 2 plays you love. You want to wait? You need more time?
Yeah, let me cook up. I got to do some math.
All right, crunch some numbers, do some math, get the calculator out. All right, you need to hit both these plays probably to win king of the board this week because I'm already sitting in 4-1. All right, W's, chats, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube. Will you? Do me a favor, please subscribe. All right, it takes 3 seconds. It's free as heck. We need to get to 5K subs like we need air. All right, get over there, subscribe right now. I will start up the Surge stream here in a minute. All right, stick with me. We'll catch you on BTL next week. Same time, same place. We'll be seeing.